All right, there we go. Back at it for another episode. You know what it is whenever you hear the beer popping, got a tall Modelo. What else would I be drinking over here? Got the Grizzlies-Lakers game going on in about 45 minutes from now, so that'll be something. Had to get some beverages for that one. We also started a little late because we've been messing around with some AI, asking it some real important questions. I mean, some real groundbreaking stuff. You've asked it a couple more questions recently than I have, and by recently I mean just a few minutes ago. But this all started because of a conversation we were having about pit bulls and chimps. It really sounds like a Joe Rogan episode now, but we were talking about how many pit bulls it would take to take down a chimp. Now, Google did not give us a whole lot of reassuring answers to that. There was a lot of there were a lot of people asking whether one pit bull, like one versus one, and it's like, dude, that chimpanzee would fucking rip that pit bull to shreds. I mean, would absolutely demolish it. There's no question.
But would that chimpanzee be able to take 4 pit bulls? Or is that? I think that's the magic number. I think 3 could start to give him some trouble. Because I mean, like, they are like 200 pounds. I mean, they're fucking big though. They're like jacked, and they're fucking compact. They got the long ass arms. I mean, pit bulls are vicious though. They're vicious as fuck. I mean, I think it's really just. I think environment matters. I think really environment's the biggest thing. If the chimpanzee can use his ability to swing from anything, then I think he stands a much better chance. I mean, but pit bulls rip apart a lot of other shit though. They ripped apart some vicious things before. No,
they rip apart people. You know, they
right. Chimps rip apart people too, though. So that's
they do. They're vicious. Yeah, they don't weigh as much as I fucking thought they did. You said 200 pounds, so I gave it a quick Google because I was like, I have no fucking reference for what a chimpanzee should weigh. Fucking Google says an adult male chimpanzee between 88 and 130 pounds. That's a lot less than I thought it was. They're still they look like they could fight a few weight classes up though. They're jacked. Some of these chimpanzees weigh more than that. I'm looking at here.
I was getting my number from that 911 call where the chimp ripped off the woman's face, and she was like, "The chimp weighs like 200 pounds," and but I guess that was just a big chimp. I guess he was being fed. Living under a roof.
Dude, he was being fed good, dude. He's eating that good human food.
I'm pretty sure he was like microwaving his own meals. I think I read that. Like that was somebody was just.
Dude, we can't do that. We can't fucking let the chimpanzees figure out how to use our appliances. That's a fucking. We're setting ourselves up for failure. We think Chat GPT AI is going to take over the world, dude. It might be these chimpanzees if we keep teaching them how to do human shit.
What if we could just teach the chimpanzee how to use AI, and we're just take out the middle.
We're completely fucked.
Or if you teach the AI, if you can teach the AI how to use the chimpanzee, you're fucked there too.
I think that's the most dangerous situation because then you get like what are the movies called? Where the chimps I have Planet of the Apes. Then you get that kind of a situation. You get like a Terminator mixed with Planet of the Apes, and nobody wants that. That does not turn out well for us. It doesn't. Microwaving his own damn meals. He was going in the freezer, fucking picking out like a hungry man, a banquet meal. Throwing that bitch in the microwave, opening the drawer, grabbing him some silverware, fork and a knife. Getting out a bib, little handkerchief. Sitting down at the table with humans. You don't need to be doing all that.
They don't need to learn anything else. We don't need to. We need to keep these things separate. Yeah.
Well, it obviously did not work out. For for the woman that owned the chimpanzee there in that scenario.
The friend that got their face, it wasn't even the woman who owned it was the one that got away from it. The woman who got
it was the friend.
The friend who got the face ripped off is actually the only one of those three in that scenario that is still alive. The woman who owned the chimp actually had a brain aneurysm 15 months after, and the chimp died after getting shot 4 times and walking in the house and laying down in a special chimp bed.
Special chimp bed? Where do you even get a fucking special chimp bed? I mean, I guess the same place you get a fucking chimpanzee, you know? I don't know where you get those things, but I don't imagine Amazon has them in stock.
Oh, they bought it from like a guy who was like selling them. I think they paid like $50,000, and she got it when it was 3 days old. They tranquilized the mom and took the baby away. Fucking crazy motherfuckers! No wonder you get your face ripped off. You fuck, you know. Damn.
So this is just a chimpanzee. They just straight up grabbed this bitch out of the wild and was like, here's a pet chimpanzee. How much you know how much they paid for the chimpanzee?
No, yeah, that was the one that was like $50,000, I think.
Oh, the chimpanzee was $50,000. I wonder if it comes with the bed.
Oh,
it's a 2-for-1.
Let me see, fucking.
If you're gonna pay $50,000 for the chimpanzee, I mean, you throw in a little extra, some bonuses.
I think he was like they got him at 3 days, and I think he was 14 when they shot him. So I mean,
damn.
I'm looking up a bed for a chimpanzee. It kind of just looks like a papasan chair.
Yeah, I mean, where else would he rather sleep?
Or he's just laying on some branches, some shit on the ground. A human bed. There's one laying on a human bed. No, I think they just kind of like us. They just sleep wherever.
Yeah, you just give him the spare bedroom, and let him, I don't know, do chimpanzee shit, whatever chimpanzees do.
Shit on the walls and shit like that.
Eat faces.
Disgusting. Eat faces, pick fleas off each other. There's actually a... No, go ahead.
No, there's many reasons why it's a bad idea. That situation obviously went to the extreme. But I don't know what has to be going through your head. Like what kind of fucking mindset you have to be in, what kind of, situation in life you have to be in to be like, you know what? I'm going to get a chimpanzee. Fuck a dog, fuck a cat, a snake. We don't need none of that. I want a chimpanzee.
It's got to be something serious. Like, you had to either have always been fucked or, it's got to be something serious. You got to have, lost a kid or something like that. What? I don't know.
Yeah, or just because, fucking Mike Tyson back in his heyday, he had, the 2 tigers. And that makes sense to me. Not that I would ever do that, because that's stupid. But when you have Mike Tyson money, you do stupid things like that. You buy tigers.
Tiger just makes more sense to me, though. That's the thing. It's chimpanzee, fucking, there's no way. There's no way. It's too much like you. You don't have something like that as a pet. Tiger, if you keep the tiger away from you, we keep cats as pets. We don't keep people as pets. I guess some people might fucking keep a person as a pet, but generally, no. I guess you have children. It's a similar fucking thing.
I think Mike Tyson said his tigers would get up in the bed with him and shit, and then they would
badass.
they would yeah. There are some cool pictures of him and his tigers out there on the internet, and I think I was listening to him talk one time, and he was like. He's like, sometimes they just fight. The tigers do. So you just got to leave. You can't. There's no breaking it up. There's not really anything you can do to break up 2 tigers fighting. You just have to flee. You have to leave, and you have to let them work it out as tigers. That's tiger activity. It doesn't involve humans in any way. So you kind of just have to leave and let them sort it out. And then I guess you come back whenever everything's cooled off.
He actually, in 2003, he got rid of his tigers. He sold them to a tiger sanctuary in California called Shambhala Preserve, run by actress Tippi Hedren, whoever that is. But no, fucking so, and he now speaks out against owning tigers or owning exotic animals.
Yeah, he knows from experience it's not a good idea. There are some very cool pictures on Google here of him. He's got his tiger and a fucking chain, just kind of walking it around or whatever. That's kind of cool. That's Mike Tyson shit. That's just some fucking good Mike Tyson shit right there. No fucking thanks. Absolutely not. That's wild. All the animals we've mentioned so far, pit bulls, chimpanzees, and tigers, I have no interest in owning any of them.
I know you have an interest in owning at least one exotic animal. Which one is it? It's a red panda.
Yeah, the red panda. I would like a red panda. They're pretty. Yeah, they're just awesome. They're cute as fuck. You know, they are basically cats. They're just exotic cats. They're not big enough to really fuck anything up. They're not going to kill you. They're just cool. I like them. I don't know if they should be pets. You know, you should honestly probably just get you a ticket to the zoo and go check them out there.
I'm trying to see what ChatGPT says so far. Is that no, they're not pets. Then they say they're tempting to want a red panda as a pet, but no.
Yeah, it is tempting. You know, I mean, it says it's not a pet, but like it could be a pet.
Anything's a pet when you fucking hold it in captivity.
Yeah.
Well,
it's way less dangerous than some of these other pets. You know,
people have crocodiles and shit like that. People have snakes. What the fuck is wrong with you if you have a snake? If you're listening to this and you have a snake, fucking comment on the next tweet you see and come on the show and we're going to ask you what the fuck is wrong with
Yeah.
you.
Do not send me any pictures of your snake, though. I don't want to see it. It'll make my skin crawl. It'll ruin my day, honestly. I think they're vile. I knew a guy, and you know who this is, but I won't say their name, obviously, but they had a pet snake, and he or she, it, whatever the snake was, got loose in the house, escaped its enclosure and got loose. That's like top 3 biggest fear for me. Snake loose in the house. You know?
Because it'd be like everywhere. It could be anywhere. They fucking, like, they're just, everywhere. They could be in your couch. They could be in your fucking toilet, in your bed. Just behind anything.
Yeah. In anything. Around anything. Fuck, they could be anywhere.
They could be
Snakes can get up anywhere.
They go right inside of a fucking closed door.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what kind of snake it was, but they did eventually find it. I'm pretty sure. Which is, I don't know. But finding it is way, way less scary than not finding it. If you never found it, like it's been a week and you haven't found it, dude, I'd have to leave. I'd have to move. Like, if I walked in this apartment one day, you know, I've been out working or whatever, and I walk back in this apartment and there's a fucking snake sitting there on the floor, I'm leaving and I'm not coming back.
I mean, they probably don't want anything. They probably don't want anything to do with you, though. Any more than you want. That's
great.
With them.
That's tremendous. Because I really don't want anything to do with them. There's not a whole lot of things I want less to do with than a fucking snake. When I was much younger, I was, very young. I got into, I don't remember what kind of car my mom had at the time, but it was like an SUV type car. I can't remember exactly what it was. And I fucking opened the door, hopped in that passenger seat, and I'm just, looking straight ahead, and I noticed this little green snake just fucking starts slithering out of the air vent. Dude, you've never seen anyone hop out of a vehicle that quickly. Never. No one's ever done it. I have the world record, I do believe. I got out of that car so fast. So fucking fast. And I know it's a little fucking green snake. It's not really that harmful. It's not like venomous or anything. I don't know what kind of snake it was. I'm not a snake expert, obviously. But I hopped out, and then my mom she like turned the corner and she was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "There's a fucking snake coming out of the damn, the air conditioning vent in the car." And
if it's a little one, that means there's got to be a big one. How the fuck does a snake get in there? They get anywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can get anywhere. And we were going somewhere. I don't know where, but it was like my mom, my brother, and me. And she was just like, "Well, let's get in the car and hope he doesn't come back out." And boy, that was not the answer that I wanted to hear.
I mean, what are you supposed to do? I guess I don't know. I don't
burn
know
the car.
Burn the car.
I really don't know what you do. It's easy to say you burn the car or whatever, but if that happened in my car, I can't exactly just leave the car alone. It's the only car I have.
They probably go out the way they went in, or they go out through the vents. It's all there's a tube in there somewhere that goes somewhere.
Yeah. That was the only time we ever saw that thing in that car. I mean, it makes its way out at some point, but man, that whole car ride, I was just eyes locked on that air conditioning vent, just waiting to see if I'm going to have to fucking do a barrel roll on the side of the highway, out the car. I just don't know why somebody would want one as a pet. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like having rats, mice.
Disgusting. I knew a girl who had a lot of different rats and mice and fucking different critters like that. It was like the third time I went over to her house. She was like, I was like, "What's in that room over there?" And it was like, she just didn't want to fucking answer. I was like, "What is?" She's like, "You can't." Eventually she showed me this fucking collection of these fucking rodents.
No.
I just kept that door closed for the time,
Oh. Yeah, that's no
disgusting.
fucking. Those are rodents, man. Like, you don't want them in your house. People go through great lengths to not have those things.
There was a whole fucking plague. It took out like 2/3 of Europe.
Yeah. Well, we have traps. You set traps around the house with fucking cheese in them to kill them things. You don't want mice in your house. That's no good. People buy other pets. They buy cats just so that they don't have mice.
It's the best part about having a cat. You don't see very many mice around unless they're dead mice.
No. Yeah. Dead mice are fine. They're still very disgusting. You look at that mouse trap, after you got you one, you got to go throw that thing away and you're like, "Oh my God, this is disgusting." But having to handle a dead mouse in a trap, way better than having a live mouse in your house. Way better.
They smell terrible. They shit everywhere. It's just good to kill them fast. Get rid of them.
Yeah, they do.
We're
shit
gonna get
everywhere.
flagged for some animal rights shit or something.
Oh, dude, we didn't even. Yeah, we started off the podcast talking about animal violence, I guess.
When they're going to start checking everything with this AI bullshit, and they're going to give me an answer like the one that I got when I asked about the pit bulls. They're just like, "Oh, it's unethical to fucking fight animals and think about them fighting." What are you talking about? We're adults here. Well, some of us are.
Yeah. Well, that's what started all this. We were talking about the pit bull and chimp thing, and then we went to Chat GPT to see what it thought. And Chat GPT gave us this bullshit, politically correct answer. This is what it said. I have it pulled up right here. I mean, the original question I asked it was, how many pit bulls would it take to kill a chimpanzee? And it said, "I'm sorry, but I cannot provide an answer to your question. Pit bulls and chimpanzees are both living creatures, and it is not appropriate to discuss or promote violence or harm towards any living being. Additionally, it is important to respect and appreciate the diversity of life on our planet and the unique value of each species. It is important to promote kindness." compassion and empathy towards all living beings. It didn't answer my question, you know?
Okay, so I rephrased the question and it's giving me a long answer. Oh, shit, you said something there I wanted to make a joke about. I can't remember what it is. Fuck it. If you ask, could a pit bull kill a chimpanzee? They say it's highly unlikely that a pit bull could kill a chimpanzee in a one-on-one encounter. Chimpanzees are larger and stronger, and a muscular build and powerful jaw muscles they use for cracking nuts and crushing hard objects. They're also intelligent, capable of using tools and working together to overcome obstacles. In comparison, pit bulls are strong and agile dogs, but they're not typically bred or trained to take on wild animals, especially ones as formidable as chimpanzees. That being said, it is important to note that it's never a good idea to put... there's that politically correct bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. So it did give you a better answer, but it still trailed off with that nonsense. I don't know what Chat GPT thinks we're doing here. I said it before we hopped on. I'm not trying to make this happen. You know, I don't have the resources to fucking get a chimpanzee and a pit bull and throw them in a UFC octagon. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm asking a hypothetical question. You know, I'm not going to do it.
If you ask, could a chimpanzee kill 4 pit bulls? It's kind of gives you the same bullshit answer, like they have strong teeth. Yada, yada, yada. You know, fucking they could rip it to shreds. I don't know. Yeah, dude, yeah. I'm still going. I'm going about. I mean, I'm just going 4 pit bulls. You know, if you like, what's the over under on the 4 pit bulls versus the chimp? And they're in an octagon. You know, shit. Have we got any good fights coming up? I fucking Bilal is gonna fight. What's his name? Gilbert Burns. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, that's a good one. I know. You know, they were talking about. They were talking about putting him against, you know, Kamaru Usman at one point in time, and you know, I guess that never really, you know, nothing ever really came of that. Kind of fell through or whatever. I mean, I think a fight with Burns is, you know, I think that's a fucking solid fight. Well, because Colby, you know, it's looking like he's going to fight for the title next, and people have all sorts of feelings about that. I'm not really a big fan of that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You know, what has Colby Covington done in the past couple of years to earn a title shot? I don't really think he's done all that much. But, you know, it's clear Bilal's not getting the next shot. I hope that motherfucker gets a shot at some point. I mean, good God. I don't know what more he really needs to do to prove that he needs one. But, you know, Burns is kind of in a, you know, he's kind of in a situation too. I know Usman isn't the champion anymore, but, you know, he did fight Usman and he got beat in the second round. So, you know, it does kind of feel like both of them, you know, they're in a situation where they need like a big statement win to make the case for why they should fight for the belt next. And, you know, I mean, I think either one of those guys with a win in that fight should be the next guy to take on Leon Edwards, or, well, you know, or Colby Covington if Colby Covington beats him. But I don't know that I see that happening.
Shit. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I fucking agree. I ain't got no argument there.
No, I don't think it's like.
One of them's for sure going to fight for a title, though.
Covington and Edwards? I don't know that they've locked it down.
Or they haven't locked that down?
I don't know that it's official yet.
No, it's not. Okay.
No, I think they're still working out the details or whatever.
Okay.
Do we know when Burns and... We do know when Burns and
yeah, it's fucking coming up fast. Oh, they don't have it on the fucking website. That's bullshit.
Oh, shit, it is coming up fast. It's straight up. Hold on, wait, it's May 6th.
It's like 2 weeks.
Holy shit. Damn. All right, then. Shit. That's a fucking... yeah, that's something. That's quicker than I thought it would be coming up. That's a pretty quick turnaround for Burns, because he just fought Masvidal a couple weeks ago. Damn.
He was talking shit to Bilal, like, why the fuck this guy can't fucking make weight. It's like, dude, you just fought. That's why you can make weight, you fuck. Like, you're already down there. You're already in the middle of fucking training. It fucking... Didn't Burns fucking run through the last guy he fought? Who did he fight last? Masvidal? Yeah, he beat his ass pretty good.
Yeah, it was not competitive, really. Yeah, no, he...
So he's still fresh.
Yeah. Feeling good enough to take on Bilal Muhammad a month after the fact, too. I mean, it makes sense. He's 36 years old. I think realistically he's got one more shot at the title.
Oh, I love that he's doing it like he's doing it, because I don't know if I've said it on another show or I fucking have just told it to you, but like, it's fucking... I had it spaced out more. I didn't think they were going to make something happen that quick, but that's good. They both are fucking older, Yeah. Wait, how old is Bilal?
He's 34.
Yeah, fucking, yeah. They're both a little older.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Bilal, he's had to go on this long win streak just to, get like a title elimination fight, like a title contender fight. He can't go on another long streak like that again. He needs he needed somebody like Usman, like Burns, like Shavkat, somebody that, like, if he beats them, then his claim to a title shot is like undeniable. I already think he has a really good case for it. I've said it on a couple of different podcasts. I think he deserved a title shot, a while back, but if he beats Gilbert Burns, he definitely deserves one then. I mean,
what's also true is fucking neither of them want to fight Shavkat.
Dude, I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to fight Shavkat.
See, I think Usman might have to get it next from Shavkat. I think that's the fucking... I'd love to see that one. Because, nobody... Who else is he going to fight?
Shoot, dude, at fucking welterweight?
Did he already beat Stephen Thompson or no?
No. Shit, I don't. Stephen Thompson's he's in his late 30s. I don't know that he's going to get in there against the killer.
Yeah. He did fight fucking... Well, he just won, didn't he? No. He beat Kevin Holland on December 3rd.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember that. Yeah, I mean, if Shavkat wants to fight somebody higher rank than him, there's not really any other option. Like, Leon and Colby are booked. Bilal and Gilbert Burns are booked. That only, Chimaev's moving up to 185. That only leaves Usman ahead of him. Shavkat's ranked number 6. The only guy above him in rank that doesn't have someone right now is the former champion. And I'd like to see it personally.
Who would you have in that one?
I would have Usman, just because I think it's too early to say that like Usman is over the hill. I don't know that that's true. I think Leon Edwards is a great fighter, everything like that. I don't know that 2 losses to him mean that you're done, that that your time at the top of the 170 division is over.
Who did Usman lose to besides fucking Leon Edwards?
Nobody in the UFC.
Nobody in the UFC. Okay.
He has another loss on his record from way back in one of his first pro fights ever.
Okay.
But Leon Edwards is the only guy to beat him in the past fucking 10 years.
Shavkat beating him would be fucking wild and also totally fucking possible.
Yeah, and see, that's what kind of sucks for a guy, like Bilal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns. Whoever wins that fight, whatever. But if Shavkat goes out there and he fucking starches Usman, it doesn't even matter what round. The round's not relevant. He could do it in the 5th, late in the 5th, like Leon did. If he knocks out Kamaru Usman he gets a fucking title shot next. You know?
I mean, yeah, I think if they're smart, they'll time it right. They'll fucking have this Bilal fight. They'll fucking have the Colby fight. When's that supposed to be coming up if that happens?
I don't know. Damn, I just saw a date for it, but I lost it. July.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
In London. In the London card they're doing. So, you know, they fight in July. Burns and Bilal fight in 2 weeks.
May. They get this shit May 6th or whatever.
Yeah. And then, you know, Shavkat and Usman, you know, whenever that happens, you know, make it around, you know, maybe like late summer, early fall, something like that. And then it's like, and then you have two contenders, you know, the winner of the Burns Muhammad fight and the winner of the Shavkat Usman fight. You have two, you know, contenders that people would love. You just got to pick one. You know, and if Colby beats Leon's not going to get an immediate rematch. No. So you don't have to worry about any of that. It's like whoever is the undisputed champ after that fight, they're going to fight the winner of one of those two fights. You imagine if Shavkat just keeps starching people?
Oh, dude, yeah. I see him running his way to the fucking. I say Shavkat has the title by. I mean, this time next year, 100%.
I could see it. I could definitely see it. He needs to see. He's got to have that high level fight.
He needs somebody in front of him so he can tear their head off. Like he
needs Usman. That's what he needs. He needs Usman. You don't even have to put it like that. Usman by the end of the year, you know, because then if he beats Usman, he gets a title shot early next year. That'll be good for him. If Usman beats him, that's not the fucking end of the world. Usman beats everybody except Leon Edwards.
Also, you know? It makes things in that division way more fun because there's not a lot of fucking. Who's the talent that's rising up really in that division?
In the welterweight division, I mean, Shavkat is definitely the biggest guy.
I mean, besides Shavkat.
Jack Della Maddalena, he's coming up. He actually just got another fight booked. I don't know against who. He's not Shavkat level quite yet, but he is very good.
And he's young though. Let me see how old he is. He's 26. Oh, he's way young. So yeah, he can. So a guy like him is going to climb his way up. He's going to fucking beat a couple of these guys here and there. But Bilal and Gilbert Burns, neither of them, it makes sense for this is how I'm assuming if this is all scripted, how it's meant to go. You know, they did just buy the WWE or they joined with them. So is it scripted? Fucking, you don't want to think so. But let's see if all this goes like I'm predicting it will. Fucking Bilal and Burns, they're both fucking, you know, if you like the sport, you like to watch them, but they aren't somebody who's going to bring in new fans, you know? Fucking Shavkat might bring in some new fans, and fucking Jack Della whatever the fuck, Maddalena would probably bring in some new fucking fans. So, like, it makes sense for Shavkat to fight Usman. It also makes sense for the UFC not to let Bilal or Burns hold the fucking belt for that long, you know? And they'd be such a big name that, like, Shavkat beating up on one of them would be fucking tremendous, you know, after he beats Usman, which would be fucking wild, because people know who Usman is, you know, like people who are kind of fucking casually watching. Fucking Shavkat just tearing his head off would be fucking, you know, it'd be awesome for the sport.
Yeah, it would be like a changing of the guard, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But also it makes it where everybody else, Burns, Bilal, fucking everybody, Colby Covington, they're all still like, I don't know. It keeps them all where they're going to be fighting each other more, you know? The dog fights are going to have to fucking continue because, like, none of these people who want the title so bad are going to have it because some new guy's going to come in and just fucking take it. And then somebody else they're going to have new people climbing the rankings. It will be a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
But it's going to be good.
It already kind of felt like that with Leon Edwards, but like, you know, it's clear that there's some really talented guys at 170 that are, you know, making their way up. And a lot of, like we just mentioned Stephen Thompson, who, I really like. He's one of those, we talked about it the other day, but he's like one of those specialist types that you don't see all that often, like he's a kickboxer. That's what he does, and he's tremendous at it. But he's also 40 years old now, 39, 40 years old, and his time is just kind of passed. He's had his title shots. He's had his, pay-per-view main events. Masvidal just retired. Another guy that's been around forever, loses to Burns, gets on the mic, says he doesn't feel like himself anymore. Some of these older guys that have been at the top of the division for a while are going to start kind of slipping down, and that'll make room for a guy like Jack Della Maddalena and, some of these other young guys they got coming up. So it's an interesting division. It's been one of the, it's been an interesting division in the UFC for a long time. But when you have a champ like Usman that, that holds the belt for as long as he did, I feel like fans they start to root against him. It's like they want somebody different. They want some new blood to hold the title. And, they got that with Leon Edwards right now, but man, there's a lot of other guys in that top six that, I think could be holding the belt by the end of the year.
Where does the UFC get new fighters?
It's a lot of guys come up from like regional promotions and things.
What are some good places to check out who's coming up in welterweight? Because even the guys down there, kind of in the middle of the rankings, they're all a little bit old too. How about Sean Brady?
He actually, Sean Brady is the guy that Jack Della Maddalena is going to fight next, and that's a good fight.
That's interesting. That's a big jump. Okay.
Yeah, because Sean Brady's that like. I'm not looking at his ranking right now, but he's kind of that middle of the pack,
Hell, he's only lost one fight to Bilal.
Yeah, shit. And see, that's the thing. That's Bilal's most recent win. I don't know that it's his most. Well, it was an impressive win. I'm not taking anything away from it. It was his first finish that he's had in a long time. But like Bilal is he's coming off a fight against Sean Brady and fighting someone like Gilbert Burns. So if Maddalena beats Sean Brady, who does he get next? He gets somebody in that top 10. I don't know who, but and Maddalena is a monster. He's had 4 fights in the UFC, and he's finished them all in the first round. If he goes out there and knocks out TKO's Sean Brady, there's no telling who they put him against. He might he beats Sean Brady. He might end up around the rankings where Shavkat is. And that's an interesting spot to be.
It's such a wonderful sport. There's so many fucking storylines just going on in one. That's like one division,
Yeah. We literally started all of that by talking about the co-main event of UFC 288, happening in 2 weeks. It's not even the main event. The main event is fucking Sterling and Cejudo, which I'm excited for. Like, very fucking excited for. I cannot wait to see Henry Cejudo back. I've been excited. I've been wanting him to come back. I thought I thought when he retired, it was a farce. I thought it was for this right here. I thought it was so that he could kind of go away, train some other people. He's been training with a whole lot of other UFC fighters and shit like that. But I always knew that he would come back. And that he would do exactly what he's doing right now. He's going to hop right back in the sport, and he's going to try to get his belt back. And, I don't know, man. I think if he looks as good as he did 3 years ago when he retired, I think he gets that belt. I think he does.
It's interesting. The UFC doesn't even have that fight listed like as an upcoming fight on their website because he's just not in the top 15. But you can like look him up and find him. But
yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. But also, you figure they would want to feature a guy that 2-division UFC champion, retired with the with the bantamweight belt. I don't know. Figure you might want to promote that some. What, one of the only guys in the UFC that has a win over Demetrius Johnson, Olympic wrestler. You'll hear that a million times before they end up fighting. But yeah, I'm ready for it. I think he beats Aljamain Sterling. I think he gets his belt back. I think he walks right back in the division and takes that belt back. And then I don't know what you do at bantamweight. It'll kind of flip everything on its head. I don't know what you do there. You got Sean O'Malley sitting around. Piotr Jan exists, but he did just get his ass fucking beat senselessly by Merab Dvalishvili. You got Corey Sandhagen, who just beat Chito Vera. Watched that fight live here in San Antonio. Beat him bad, too. A lot of, I don't know, man. A lot of these divisions are interesting. There's just a whole lot of fun shit going on.
When's Sean O'Malley fighting again? He's a motherfucker. He didn't fight enough.
I don't think he's got anything lined up either. I think he's waiting for a title shot. But, do you give him... See, that's the thing. He's waiting around for a title shot. But there's no way that he deserves one more than Merab. I think Merab deserves one. I think he deserves one right now, but he just won't fight Aljamain Sterling because they're bros.
They need to schedule that fight, and if they don't take it, then he needs to fucking... I don't know. I mean... Shit, why not fucking... I mean, Sean O'Malley... Wait, who's Aljamain Sterling? Has he got a fight lined up or no?
Yeah, he's fighting Cejudo in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm looking at these rankings. I don't know why they're not fucking showing that shit on there. Yeah, no fucking shit. Yeah, so I guess it's after that we'll see Sean... I mean... I guess it depends on who wins that fight. There's so much fucking happening. It's, it's fucking important fucking... It's an important next fucking month of fights.
Yeah. I think the winner of that fight... whether it's, if it's Sterling, it eliminates one of these guys I'm about to list. But, if it's Cejudo, it could be any of these three. I think the winner of that fight fights either Merab Dvalishvili, Sean O'Malley, or Corey Sandhagen. I think those are three guys that are they've earned a title shot at this point. They just have, Sean O'Malley's arguable. But, he's number 2 in the rankings. So what are you going to do? He did technically beat Piotr Jan. Technically. It was an odd decision, but it did technically happen. So I guess you got to put him in that conversation. I don't know. I think Sterling and Sandhagen would be cool, but if Cejudo wins, I think you put you do Cejudo and Merab. You got 2 fucking crazy ass wrestlers going at it. Sean O'Malley, I think, needs to fight one more time. I don't know who, but somebody.
Who else he beat recently? Fucking beat Jan controversially. I don't know if that's fucking...
Yeah.
See, he barely beat him. He needs to fight him again. And then run that back. And then fucking old Munoz or whatever the fuck. Moonhose. I don't know.
See, he and O'Malley fought, but I think it was an eye poke or something ended that fight, so it wasn't even, and he just doesn't, see, that's the thing, Sean O'Malley doesn't really have any other, big names on his resume other than Piotr Jan.
Oh, Chito Vera beat his ass back in fucking 2020.
Yeah. If they wanted to run that one back, I wouldn't be mad. If they wanted to do O'Malley and Jan or O'Malley and Chito Vera, I wouldn't really be opposed to seeing either of those again. There's bad blood between O'Malley and Chito. I don't know if Chito hates him. Sean O'Malley does seem to kind of really not like Chito.
Didn't Sean O'Malley jump up in rankings from fucking... He was 11th and he jumped to what is he now, first?
Yeah, I think he had a pretty big jump. I think he's right behind Merab. I think he's number 2. Yeah. So, after he beat Piotr Jan, he jumped up pretty good.
That's ridiculous.
And it was mad. There's anybody can go look at it, like the GIF whenever they announce the decision, the look on Sean O'Malley's face, he just kind of has that look of like, oh shit, I did not expect them to say my name. Like I thought it was a clear 2-1 Jan. I thought it was pretty clear. I thought Jan won that fight. I didn't even really think there should be any controversy. I thought it was fairly straight up. Judges didn't see it that way. What can you do? It happens. There are two things that can happen in a fight that really fuck it up, and it's like a referee making a bad decision, like stopping a fight too early or whatever. And then it's the judges just doing what judges do. Like just calling the fight wrong. So much so where you look at it and you're like, God, what the fuck were they looking at? There's nothing that like ruins a great fight like the wrong guy being awarded the winner. And they did have a good fight, but I feel like that is what happened in that fight. I thought Petr Yan won that fight. And pretty much everyone else did too, except for 2 of those 3 judges that were sitting cage side in Abu Dhabi.
It's fucking ridiculous. And he jumped up that far because it's a split decision. That's total dog shit. That's just Dana White wanting that motherfucker because he's fun to watch. But is he fun to watch? I mean, yeah, well, definitely.
He is. And, the thing is like, I don't even think, he gets called overrated a lot. And I don't think that's necessarily unfair, but he's fought some people that are not really, up to par with UFC standards. He fought that guy with the green hair, Chris Moutinho, and beat the fucking brakes off of him. Like, and then the guy that he fought before Munoz, Paiva, not really a top 15 UFC guy. No hate to the guy or nothing, but not really a top 15 caliber bantamweight. He's fun in those fights, but he is also fun when he fights like decent talent. Like he knocked out Thomas Almeida, who I always really liked. It's been a minute since I've thought this, but at one point in time, I thought he was going to be like one of the next big things at bantamweight, and it just fucking, it didn't really work out. And his downfall kind of started before the O'Malley fight. It didn't start with O'Malley, but like he knocked out Thomas Almeida. He knocked out Eddie Winland with this crazy spinning back kick. I mean, just knocked him completely unconscious, like back flat against the fucking mat, arms up in the air, unconscious. He fought Sukumtat in his second fight in the UFC. He's got decent names on his resume, but he's fought a fair amount of cans in between. And then the two biggest names that he's fought, he lost to Chito, and he should have lost the fight against Jan. So, how good is Sean O'Malley really? I think it's very possible he's a solid top 10 UFC fighter, but is he the number 2 or number 3 bantamweight in the world like the rankings suggest? I don't know about all that.
I mean, I just don't. Well, the Jan thing was fucking bullshit. So it's really, I mean, he's probably is he top 10? Yes, yeah, because old Munoz is in there, and I think so. Yeah,
there's I would definitely bet on Sean O'Malley over some of the people in the top 10 right now. Definitely.
What about Umar Nurmagomedov?
Shit, you're not going to catch me betting against anybody with the last name Nurmagomedov.
16-0. Fucking, he just ran through somebody. Yeah, he fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple months ago, I think.
Yeah, he needs to fight again. Get his ass up.
He's dope. I don't think he has anything scheduled, but you see a guy with a last name like that and a fucking 0 at the end of their record, they're gonna fucking put a beating on somebody. And he's good. Like, Umar Nurmagomedov. God damn, I just fucking stuttered through his last name there. Nurmagomedov. It's tough, man. Yeah. You figure I would have had some practice with Habib, dominating the lightweights for those years that he did. But no, Umar's dope. He beat Brian Kelleher in his second UFC fight last year, and Brian Kelleher is no joke. That dude, he fucking hits hard. He's a solid bantamweight, but fucking Umar ran through him pretty good, got him out of there in one round. I don't know that I'd be betting on Sean O'Malley in that fight.
Does Cheeto belong in the fucking where he's ranked?
I think so. I think he's pretty appropriately ranked. He did just have a bad loss to Sandhagen, and that sucks. I watched it live when the whole San Antonio crowd was rooting for Chito Vera, and boy, he just got his ass beat over 5 rounds. Pretty disappointing way to end the night. But no, I think he's pretty appropriately ranked. He's got good wins. He's got wins over Dominic Cruz is still in the top 10, and he's ranked right above Rob Font, who he also beat fairly recently. So I think he's right about where he needs to be. He did lose to Song Yudong back in the day, who I think he's also ranked over. But if they ran that fight back, I don't know that Song Yudong would get him. I think Chito's made more improvements over that time period than Song Yudong has. And Song Yudong is dope. I like his ass too. He's fucking a lot of these guys in the top 10 that we're talking about, I think, are killers. Actually, Song Yudong fights this weekend, I'm pretty sure. Oddly enough that we fucking mentioned him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he fights Ricky Simone this weekend. Fight night too, so it's all on ESPN Plus. Love that. So is Brian Kelleher, another guy that we've named tonight. See, that's the thing, you start watching all these fights and you recognize people from different events that you've watched, and you start to learn more about them. You watch them grow as a fighter. I've said it, a million times, but I do think that MMA is truly the greatest sport in the world.
I don't know if I have everything else. My phone, my thing cut off about 3 minutes ago, so I've missed anything that you've said in the past 3 minutes.
Oh, that's good. No, I was just talking about some of these top guys. Yeah, it's probably not a bad cue to wrap it up. I was talking about Song Yudong.
He's got a fight coming up, doesn't he?
He
like this weekend. Yeah.
Like this weekend coming up. Yeah, he's fighting Ricky Simone. I was talking about Chito Vera and his ranking. How I think he's right where he needs to be. Because he's got wins over Cruz and Font, and he lost to Song Yudong a couple years ago, but I think if they ran that back, I think Chito would probably get him this time around. But no, Song Yudong's dope. I don't have any problem with him. He's cool. He's a fun fighter. He's great. Needs a win. He did get beat by Sandhagen last year, but he needs to get back in the win column. He did beat my boy Julio Arce like 2 years ago. And that's not cool. But, that's the name of the game. What can you really do? Sometimes you pick up a win, and sometimes you take it.
It's the way it fucking goes. If it doesn't go that way, then you are an anomaly. Most people fucking, probably lose more than they win. But,
Yeah. It's funny. I said your shit fucking up there for a minute was probably a good cue to kind of wrap it up. It's funny what you talk about before you record an episode and then what you actually talk about. on an episode, because if you had asked us, if someone had asked the two of us like 2 hours ago what we were going to talk about on this podcast, we would have said Tucker Carlson, Don Lemon, and what's the other news item I'm missing?
Tucker Carlson's producers got fired too. I don't know who the other. There was a third name though.
Shit.
I don't know.
I don't think it's fucking.
Oh, Dan Barginio, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, no, he is another one, but it's ridiculous. I forgot about this. The third fucking item I was going to bring up right then.
Oh yeah,
was A-Rod getting traded to the Jets. Yeah. Well, I feel like that's kind of fair because we've assumed for like the past 2 months that was going to happen. You know, so see, in my head, it already happened 2 months ago. Like when I play Madden, fucking A-Rod's on the Jets already. I just send his ass over there. You know, I just assume. So it didn't even really register in my head. That's fine. I mean, you know, the Tucker Carlson, Don Lemon thing, I think people have already kind of, you know, it's goddamn 9 p.m. here Central Time, so we're a little late on it. You know, that shit all broke this morning. People are already throwing this and that out there.
Last week we talked about the Air Force guy. Well, he's not doing that shit. Or I don't know. No, we haven't heard anything new on that shit. You know, I don't think, other than it took place over about a year, he leaked all those documents. I don't know. I think before we were maybe talking about how long it took.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, because I had read something that he might have leaked those documents like as early as October, but then you're right. I think there was something else that came out that said, you know, it was happening even earlier than that.
Shit, yeah. October, I might have met that also might have been what I assumed with my year. I have no fucking clue. Yeah, go ahead. Say what you're going to say. Fucking.
It's hard to keep track of time. Yeah. Man. This is difficult.
My shit shows I've been recording for 4 minutes, so, you know, I already lost track of time since it all collapsed.
That is funny. No, just to kind of, I don't really have any, like, the only thing I'll say about, you know, the news of today, I don't really have any comments on Don Lemon. Who's listening to Don Lemon? You know? Like, you're turning on the TV, and you're fucking flipping it over to CNN, hoping to see Don Lemon. You're already almost cause.
I think the people who listen to Don Lemon are people who really know who he is, got stuck at home during COVID and had nothing else to watch and just weren't really into the news, and they cut on the news. And so I guess to some people, like, he's probably a more familiar face because that, and then the whole George Floyd thing, that shit was fucking dominating the news for a while. And it was like, you know, Don Lemon was a fucking mouthpiece for that one. So it all just kind of.
I feel like
it's just me slamming my computer against my fucking steering wheel.
No, I feel like most of Don Lemon's viewers come from like airports. You know, you go into an airport, it's always CNN on like every TV, and I feel like that's where a lot of his viewers come from. You know,
see,
who the fuck's listening to Don Lemon? Now, look, if you like, I don't know, like if somebody likes Anderson Cooper or Jake Tapper or something like that, that's more understandable. You can at least hear him out, you know. But like if your go-to guy is Don Lemon, I probably don't want to fucking talk news or politics.
Yeah,
with
it
you,
may as well be
frankly.
fucking. There's a couple names like that. Sean Hannity and Rachel Maddow are the other ones. They hit that certain news hour. Tucker was a more interesting one. And then there's a couple other interesting ones. Tucker, you're going to get, I don't know, it's a variety. I appreciate some of his shit, but not, you know, some of it's a little ridiculous.
I feel like he's very hit or miss depending on the night.
For sure, too.
You know? Like like, you know, when he did the newscast about like JFK, right? Like that shit was all over the internet. Like everybody was listening to it. Like holy fuck. Even Bobby Kennedy, you know, who's now running for president, was like, he said something along the lines of, this is the most courageous news broadcast in the past however many years. And I don't know about all that, but you know, it's interesting to at least hear somebody talk about it and question the mainstream narrative of what happened. You know, so sometimes you get some shit like that from Tucker where it's, you know, you get an opinion that's pretty far away from where the rest of the mainstream media is. And even if you don't like him or you don't agree with him a whole lot, you can at least, well, I mean, I guess some people can and some people can't, but you know, you can at least kind of appreciate where he's coming from, that he's at least giving like a different viewpoint, you know, because like a lot of these fucking mainstream news hosts, you know, if you were to listen to like 6 shows in a row on CNN or Fox or MSNBC or whatever, like you're going to get like the 6 same viewpoints from each guest on each station. And you might not get that with Tucker Carlson. He might hit you with a real fucking curveball.
And I like times I've watched him and then Hannity coming on after. There's been times where like, and I don't know, I've seen it shot all over the internet too. You know, whatever wing of Twitter I'm checking out at the time, you know, it'll just be like, you know, they'll be completely flip-flopped on what they said. And they'll be like, oh, you know, they don't agree or whatever. But it's like, yeah, well, that's what you get when you get certain guys on there. That's, I think, Cuomo was kind of doing that. If you ever catch him on News Nation now, these days, he does that still. It's not a bad station. I don't know if we talked about that before. But, no.
Yeah, I like him a fair amount. You know, it's different. You know, I kind of like what News Nation has going on, and I think Cuomo is definitely an interesting addition to what they got going on. And I've seen some of his stuff since he's been on there. I don't think he's bad at all. I think News Nation is definitely a better fit for him than CNN was. You know, like definitely. Yeah, his program over there at News Nation is way better than it was.
Also, there's nothing wrong with what he got in trouble for. You should always defend your family like that. But anyways, no, my shit's about to cut off, so and we could probably start wrapping this shit up. I'm in the garage.
Yeah, no, we can definitely wrap it up. The Grizzlies-Lakers game has already got underway. They're a couple minutes into the first quarter. Grizzlies up 8-2. Too early to say anything, of course, but as long as they're not getting blown out like they were the other night. I forget, you know, they were down like 30-something points the other night at one point in the game. I don't even remember. I didn't tune in. It would have been too painful to watch, but I'm hoping the Grizzlies win this game at least, because 2-2 is a lot better than 3-1. I don't know. I can't see it from what I'm looking at right now. I can't see what lineup they're running with, but man, I'm hoping the Grizzlies pull out and get this one at least. So yeah, we're going to hop off here and we're going to catch this Grizzlies game and fucking pray to God that the Grizzlies win this one and don't fuck it up too. Peace out.